Typically, you ride a water slide either in a tube, on a mat, or lying on your back. But recently, a few stand-up water slides have appeared, including Sky Surfer Europabad. This looks downright bizarre, and it offers a radically different ride experience from other slides out there. But is different good? Find out in this review. Over the past decade, a few stand-up water slides have popped up, most often in Germany. Arguably the most notable of the bunch is Sky Surfer Europabad. This one opened in 2021 at the Europabad Indoor Water Park. This is the first slide you see as you enter the park, as the blue trough was placed above a pre-existing pool. Riders emerge from a concrete wall, and you have a twisted slope down to the bottom. It is quite surreal seeing guests standing on a water slide. It looks like people are breaking the rules, but that indeed is how you ride. So how do these slides work? You have a tall and super narrow U-shaped trough. This limits horizontal motion and constrains your body. You then have an ultra slick floor for your feet to glide upon. This is continuously lubricated by a series of sprayers. Then you also have these contoured handholds the whole way down. These are equally as slick, and you'd be a fool not to hold on to them. They allow you to keep your balance and prevent wiping out. If you lose your balance, the fall could be quite uncomfortable, and it would be darn near impossible to stand back up given the slippery slope. When you want to ride, you walk up to the second level of the water park and you see a sign bearing the ride's name. Interestingly, you will not see a single attendant both at the top and bottom of this attraction. This park instead has employees monitoring guests with cameras from a control room. Then an automatic turnstile at the top controls the guest flow. Once you get the green light, you are free to enter. How you enter the slide hugely determines the intensity. You can either slowly walk into the slide, resulting in a tame and controlled descent, or you can get a running start, resulting in a far wilder experience that feels out of control. There are two things I would compare this experience to. First, if you've been in a funhouse with those rolling floors, this feels sort of similar as you glide over the surface, except this is a downhill slope with turns as well. Second is if you have intentionally glided across a sheet of ice. I know that's not the safest thing to do, but I may have done that a few times as a kid. Except in this water slide, you have handholds to prevent you from comically wiping out. Now the shock factor at the start is real with this slide. It feels so weird standing for a slide like this. With a running start, the first two turns are surprisingly wild. You carry good speed through them. Since they're entirely unbanked, your body will be pressed against the sidewall, which is well lubricated as well, so you effortlessly continue downwards. You do start to burn off speed after that though. If you ride passively, you may stall out at a point, and the final turn is fairly mild. I typically would thrust my feet forwards in a sliding motion to get some extra speed. It took a few rides for me to feel comfortable doing this, because it did require some coordination and balance. Since the final turn is tighter than the prior two, the laterals are quite good if you have enough momentum. Then you have the runoff area, which is a thrill on its own. The trough suddenly fills ankle deep with water. This serves as an abrupt break, and you'll likely lose your balance. Make sure you're holding on, or else you will assuredly wipe out. Even when holding on, I would flail forwards at this point. The awkwardness always brought a smile to my face. This slide is quite short, both in height and length. It is maybe just 3 stories tall maximum, and it has just a few turns. But it is longer than a lot of the other stand-up water slides I've seen in Europe. This one has a more involved layout as well with multiple turns. So what would I rate Sky Surfer? I would give this water slide a 9 out of 10. On paper, this slide looks mild, but in actuality, it is quite exciting. Much of that is because of the uniqueness and novelty. It is so neat having a physically demanding slide like this. It feels way more out of control than slides where you lie on your back or sit in a raft. And with a good running start, the elements are enhanced. You quickly zip along the slippery surface, and those turns of sneaky laterals. Europabad is quite easy to tack on to an amusement park road trip. This indoor water park is 1 hour north of Europa Park, or 30 minutes south of Holiday Park. And since Europabad often is open 4 hours later than those two amusement parks, you can easily experience this park and Sky Surfer on the same day. It is well worth it if you've never been on a slide like this. So those are my thoughts on the Sky Surfer at Europabad. What do you think about the stand-up water slide concept? Have you been on one? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.